Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Vending. Today I kind of want to continue where we left off at the last video. I want to kind of bring everybody up to speed on some things. And one of the things that has really surprised me, yet not really. Now, if you watched any of our past videos, you know that when I find a good business to do business with, I'm the first one there, and I don't get monetized for anything I suggest on here at all. But for the last year or so, we have used a company called Gumball.com, and that's where we've bought our new machines. And every once in a while, you know, I've mentioned things like they didn't get the order right or whatever. But I have noticed, okay, a little background. At one point, I bought two different types of machines at the same time. One was a triple head, one was a single head. The triple head I got the very next day delivered to my door. The single head took me 2 weeks. So I've noticed that every time, and the order comes from California, the warehouse is in Arizona. So I've noticed that to ship a machine from Arizona to Illinois, for some reason, takes 2 or 3 weeks. So I placed this last order, and I specifically asked the girl on the phone. I said, I've got this machine already placed. I need it here as quickly as possible, and I've noticed that whenever I order a machine from you guys, a single head, it takes for freaking ever to get here. What can you do to help me with that? And she said, well, we were having a problem in our warehouse, but it's been ironed out and it'll go out in 7 to 10 days. And I said, okay. In my mind, I was thinking, 7 to 10 days to pack up and ship a machine? What, are you making it from scratch? But I let it go, and I said, okay, so 7 to 10 days to leave the warehouse, couple, 3 days to get here. I should have it in 10, 15 days. I waited 3 weeks. Now, after 2 weeks, I called. The first time I called, the guy on the phone said, let me call the warehouse and I'll get back to you. And I said, okay. Then I never heard back. The next day, I called again, and he said, oh, the guy never got a hold of me. Let me contact him and I'll get back to you. I said, so let me get this right now. I said, without exception, and no excuses, I will hear from you today. Is that what you're telling me? And he said, yes, sir. I said, okay, great. Didn't hear a thing. The next day I called 2 or 3 times. No response. The next day I called 2 or 3 times. No response. The next day I called every hour. No response. Now, I was leaving messages. No response, no answer, no nothing. Now, one of the messages I left them was, I said, one of the last messages, I said, well, obviously you guys are not interested in my business and you're not going to ship my machine, so I'm going to call my credit card company and I'm going to cancel payment and we're done. I'll find somebody else for my machines. Still no response. And I waited a day or two just to see if they would respond. They did not. Then I called the credit card company and I said, hey, I don't know if they're going out of business. I mean, I understand the situation we're in, you know, because in my business, we're having trouble getting things shipped in too. I get that, but all you got to do is call me and say, hey, we're having troubles getting the coin mechanism or the stand or whatever it is, and I would have said, great. When do you think that's going to happen? And I would have been, they could have gone 3 months and I would have been fine with that. But I got no response. So I called my credit card company. They issued a credit on my account. And that night, okay, so I called my credit card company like around noon. That night at about 6 or 7 o'clock, which would have been 5 o'clock Arizona time, I got a text that said, hey, your machine's been shipped out. And I'm like, really? So it had to take threatening you to get my freaking machine? So then I thought, okay, well, I better call the credit card company and tell them. And I thought, no, wait a minute. Just because I got a text doesn't mean anything. I'm going to wait till I get my machine. Okay, I received that text on Wednesday. Your machine has been shipped. Now they ship UPS. All right? Today is now Sunday. Still no machine. So the soonest I'm going to receive it is going to be tomorrow, Monday. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 5 more additional days. And I still don't have my machine. So, I like the quality of their machines, but I have gone online and I have found another company, and I am going to start with another company. I didn't want to do that, but I don't like being treated like that. Gumball.com is who I was using. Okay. So, a couple of videos ago I did one talking about things even cheapskates can do, and one of them was my refrigerator, controlling the power to my refrigerator so I could cut my utility bill down. I have done that a couple of times on Saturdays where I'm gone all day. I did a 9, each time is 9 hours. No effect at all, anything in the refrigerator. Everything is still cool. The insulation is fine, obviously. And I have checked, and people have told me things will last 2 or 3 days, and I remember that from the hurricane days in Florida. So I'm going to continue to do that. Also, I met with my son, who is a millennial, last night, and he tells me that there is an app where you can take this device that you buy, put it in your outlet, then stick the appliance in the outlet, and then you hook all of those throughout your house into this app that goes on your phone, and you can control the power to each and everything. I think that's awesome. That's way too much work for me. I'm just going to control the circuit breakers. And he laughed at me, called me old and whatever. But I'm good with that. So before we started all of this with the circuit breakers and all of that, remember in a previous video I said no matter what happens, I'm not going to be able to change my utility bill because I'm on a level payment plan. Now the only thing that I had been doing this last year was turning up my thermostat in the summer when I left for work and turning it down in the winter when I left for work, and then catching it back up. Well, they just did the adjustment, the annual adjustment on my utility bill, and the monthly payment went down $25 a month just by doing that. So I figure a full year of doing the hot water heater, the phantom electricity, see previous video, and the refrigerator, we might go down another $20, $25. We'll have to wait and see. Now the next video that I do is going to be on our update for the game that we are playing. Now remember, the game is $1,000 cash back without adding any new credit cards. And I can give you this teaser. We did get our $300 from American Express. Remember, they didn't have us in line. They were going to have to open a case on this, and it was going to take 6 to 8 weeks, and I said it ought to take about 30 seconds. Well, it took about a week, and they contacted me and said, hey, well, actually they sent me a statement. They didn't contact me. And they issued the $300 credit, and so we're right on line. I think I've got them all in but one to find out where we are for the month of August, and I could probably get close, but I don't want to do that. I want to wait and be accurate. So we're going to wait. I'm waiting on one more statement. When I get that statement, I'll upload a video and tell you how we're doing on our $1,000 goal. Well, that should bring us up to date on everything. You guys have a great week, and happy vending.